Patrick K. Follow me on Instagram. Patrick K really sells. Donate to my Cash App. $ PK really sells. And you are watching episode 2 of
You Can Say
It. And today's topic is You Can Say It.
Happiness.
Yeah, what is it?
To me, happiness is being content with yourself and your situation, and just not necessarily just being fine in how everything is, but being grateful for everything rather than not being grateful. You know what I mean? Being content with what you have. I feel like happiness, that's a state in which it comes and goes. Being content, you can always be content with things you have.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, but I think that comes and goes too. Really, when I think of happiness and being happy, I always used to think that happy is something that you need, that should be easily obtained, like, or something that you should easily automatically have. Like when people say,
well, I feel like most people aren't even in a state of happiness unless they are
receiving something
fun,
externally,
receiving something, or etc. But content, that's something you can always. That's why I'm saying content is better than being that. Better content is content over happiness.
Yeah, because it's kind of like if you're in a relationship.
Because no one is ever like saying, "Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy." I never really hear that. So it's like, are you happy?
Like somebody could be like, "Oh, I'm not happy in this relationship because I want to do A, B, and C. So now that I've done A, B, and C,
right, you're still not
happy. So you go to another relationship because this one didn't make me happy, and now you're happy because this is new, because everything is different and you're experiencing stuff. Now you're happy, but eventually,
right,
you're gonna get back in the same mode of the normalcy of being with that person. Now it's not so new. Now it's the everyday grind. And you probably won't be happy. So
that's why I'm saying content over happiness, because you could be happy in a relationship for a period of time, and then you could get bored, or they could make you upset and angry, and then you just leave or something like that.
And at that
being
point,
content is where you can go back and actually see what's going on, and then fix the problem and find a solution. Content.
Well, I think a lot of people just think that happiness is something that's external.
A lot of people
think it's what's given to you, where you're going, what you have to show,
and also
not thinking about anything.
Social media has altered that,
because people always say, "Look at her, she's happy now. Look at her." Because they out somewhere doing something skydiving, doing something different than before. Look at her, she's so happy.
On social media, they're shopping it up.
They're so happy.
They must have a happy.
They're happy. Look at her, she's happier now, as opposed to when we used the serum. She just was in the house doing nothing. Now she's out and about doing stuff, and then once that stuff is over,
most of the time that's just a distraction.
That's all it is. But like I was saying, I used to think happiness was those superficial things as well.
Yes.
So when I was feeling like, oh, I'm not happy, so I'm about to do some shopping therapy. You know what I'm saying? What do you call it? Retail therapy?
Retail therapy.
Yeah. You hear that all the time. You know what? I'm not happy, so I'm about to do some retail therapy and go into debt. Now you're definitely not going to be happy, because now every time you receive your paycheck, you're going to see that it's getting ate up by the debt that was supposed to
Lululemon.
increase your happiness. So what I think is, I think happiness is positive and you can achieve it, but you have to sacrifice for it.
Yeah.
That's something I kind of read in this book, and I got the quote kind of here. It says, sacrificing something now for a more desirable future outcome is often seen as a necessary part of achieving happiness and success. So basically, it's all about delaying gratification. Delayed gratification, honestly, is the best way to achieve happiness.
I've never heard that except from you. Can you tell me what that means? Because some people might think, oh, obviously we know what that means, but what does it really mean?
You know what? I can't tell you what it means. I can tell you what it means, but I cannot tell you how it feels. But I will tell you is, I'm in the process of wanting to see how that feels, because I feel like when I read that, it was one of those paradigm shifts.
Yeah.
You love that word, don't you?
Paradigm.
Pagram. It's one of those things that you hear, you read, that you can never undo in your mind.
Right. Some people think that's just, oh, I'm not going to eat this cake. I just delayed gratification. I'm not going to eat this cake.
Yeah. That is a delayed gratification.
That is, but
and like we always going back to the cake and the apple example. If you want to lose weight and you eat those apples, you're delaying a gratification from cake. But the more you eat those apples, then you actually lose that weight, you're gonna be happy.
In
so
the
you
future.
sacrifice the cake for your weight. So that's what that means. That means, you know what I'm saying, short-term sacrifices for long-term goals. And like
for long-term feeling.
For what I'm getting at right now is, again, I have to bring it back to me because I have main character syndrome. In my situation,
I have main character syndrome.
We all do.
Much. We all do.
But getting back to me right now is being a single male, a single bachelor. You know,
single dad.
Yeah, single dad. Yeah. You know, being single out here. You know, before I really thought that the key to being happy and single was to get on these dating apps. Which she hates those.
I don't believe in dating apps.
Get on dating apps.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say I don't believe in that.
You can say it.
I'm gonna say it because what? Are you like really? You can't go out and go find a...
You know what?
I told him this too. You can't just go out and go find someone.
I work too much.
I work too much. Yeah, that's
I work
always
too
an excuse,
much.
but you'll be scrolling for hours on the dating app.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you about those dates. I'm for one probably would never get on another dating app again. She's absolutely correct about that. I think dating apps is a.
I think they've changed how people view getting into a relationship, finding that connection online.
I think it causes mental health issues. I think a lot of people on dating apps have mental health issues. I'm sorry for having a blanket statement like that. But I have experience in this.
They always show the good things. Like you on a yacht, you behind a Bugatti.
Everybody, I want to travel. I want
We're not judging those people.
That's emotionally intelligent. I want someone who knows where he's going in life.
Right, you want all those, but that's not who you are. You can't want to have someone that's not on your level. You're always gonna find someone that's near your level.
Not all the time.
A little bit above, a little bit.
You may run into somebody by chance that's on a higher level than you.
That can help you, but
that can inspire you.
Rare.
Inspire you to want to
that's
get
there.
there.
That's rare for you yourself
that's
to
very
even want to change with them, because you could just feel insecure. Which a lot of people do feel insecure when they find someone who's quote unquote better than them.
Even if that person that's above them give them that shot, they probably get
even
that
when
shot.
They don't make you feel like you're lower, you still
might
project your own insecurities onto the situation.
And you know why? Because you're not happy with yourself. It goes back to being, because you're not happy.
It goes back to being happy with yourself.
You're not happy with yourself, so you're not happy in your relationship, because you know to get to that happiness that other partner is up there with, that means you have to sacrifice.
Right.
You have to sacrifice.
That always leads back to those two things.
Sacrifice. You have to want to change, and you have to do the work.
You have to want to change and take action.
But a lot of times people look at it like this. Oh, instead of me wanting to get to that level, I can make up excuses of why I don't want to. Now I'm not happy. And for me to be happy, I need to find something that's easier for me to achieve.
Right.
This right here is easy for me to achieve. This person right here is not going to challenge me.
And some
He's
people
not going to want me to get better.
Don't challenge yourself or find, like, some people don't want to challenge yourself or try and find out who they really are, because they know once they bring out those insecurities or whatever, then they know that.
And
they
also
have to do the work to change, which that's what
the work to not only work to change, but stay there. And also, like we said in the other video, and then want to bring it back into this video, once you make that change to want to be on that level, to have that happiness with your partner, you still have to worry about the people who know you from that level and may look at you differently. Family members, friends. Oh, my partner has a master's degree. I didn't go past the 10th grade. But he or she loves me, but I need to increase my mental capacity. I need to get my intelligence up. I'm not there yet, but I want to work hard to get somewhere where we can meet in the middle. But for me to do that, I have to sacrifice who I am. Do I want to do that or no? Because if I sacrifice who I am or some of these habits that prevented me to even being on that level, then maybe my parents, my family, my friends will look at me like, you trying to change for him?
Right,
you trying to change. What are you reading? What are you doing?
Why are you reading?
Right, you want to come hang out at wherever? No, because right now I'm trying to understand this book.
Really?
Why do you want to read that book? No, right, why do you want to read that book? Because I feel like this is something that he or she is into, and I want to connect with them on this level.
And people will make you feel bad for wanting to better yourself, which is the crazy thing.
And then let me ask you this though: do you think it's bad to want to better yourself for someone else?
No, I don't. Actually, I don't think it's bad because at the end of the day, whether that works or not, you're still changing your mindset. And then once you realize if that relationship doesn't work, then you're fine after because you really change your mindset. So you're not necessarily changing for them, but that's just a little motivator.
What if you change for them and then you say I changed for you, and they're like, I'm good anyway, but you put all that time in to change.
Well, for some people that could break you. For some, but I don't know.
So then it's not good to change for somebody else. I'm always say it's never good to change for somebody else. Change starts with yourself, point blank.
Well, they can motivate you.
They can motivate you to change, but still, if it's not for your own self, it'll never work out because it's kind of like
it depends on if you're doing it for yourself for real or not.
It's kind of like I'm reading the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is a great book. It's old as heck, but I'm really reading it. I can't even get through it because I keep going back to certain things, and I think they said something about when you want to make that positive or personal growth change, it's a difference between changing your personality or changing your character. So if you change your personality, that's basically you saying you changing your outer self. You know, you trying to come up with tricks, tips, and little things to manipulate people into liking you. So, for instance, if I was in a relationship with a smart person and or a highly intelligent person, and I want to change to be in their life, instead of me actually saying, you know what, I want to change my character to show them that I may not be as smart as them, but I have some high values that can add to who they are in a different way. That's what I mean by changing yourself in character, because that change right there goes a longer way as opposed to changing your personality, saying, oh, this person's smart, so I'm about to, read and look at podcasts and then try to get smart. So now I'm using big words, but that really is not me. So I think a person will respect you more if you change your character.
And especially, if you try
and that's that inside-outside growth.
Right. And if you're trying to change for someone that you're in a relationship with, and if they're not acknowledging it, you might feel like you might want to stop. That's why it's not good to necessarily change for them. But also, I feel like it's still kind of good because they're like a motivator to you changing yourself for the better. I don't know, because I don't know. I just that's how I feel.
So, for instance, say if you want, say for instance, you're in a relationship, the relationship ended, and you felt like the person that you are today. I'm gonna talk about myself. I'm saying this person is me. So I felt like after my divorce, I feel like now I want to change who I am. I want to change the person I am, because I don't want to, no disrespect, attract that type of person again, because I felt like that wasn't who I wanted to be. So for me to get to a higher level of a relationship, a higher connection of attracting the people that are the person that I feel that can add to me and I can add to them, I have to change. And I can't do that with the personality change. I can't just say, all right, I want someone that has this, and this. So I'm about to, be in those spots. I'm about to go to a freaking private golf club.
I'm gonna be the same, but I'm just gonna go to the library.
I'm gonna go to the BMW store, maybe a female there.
I'm gonna go to the car show.
I'm gonna start going to Whole Foods and start shopping at Whole Foods.
I'm gonna go to Starbucks.
I'm gonna start creeping out at Starbucks
or
with
go
people
to the gym.
who has a Tesla. Things like that. Just trying to be. We being funny, but looking for superficial.
Real. People do that.
Looking for superficial things that you think can attract you
and
to what you want.
And once you attract that higher level or something, you're not going to be able to maintain that.
Because you caught them on a superficial way.
There's no way you're going to be able to maintain that, and that's what people don't get.
So I feel it goes back to changing your character. You got to really want to change for yourself. And again, acknowledge God. And with that combination, it'll attract the person that's good for you, and they can see you being that genuine person, not someone that's superficial, just trying to trick or manipulate them to thinking you a certain way, but really putting in that work to say, you know what, this is me. I have some shortcomings, but they can respect the real of you, and that's happiness right there. Because at that point,
accepting yourself.
Yeah, accepting who you are,
right,
and knowing your weaknesses and strengths.
Accepting who you are, but also valuing the change that you can
validating yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're not happy, your face. Am I talking too much?
Micro expression. No,
that was a big time micro expression. You did it like 3 times. I'm like,
the past 3
does that micro expression means that this guy cut me off again? Dad, you always talking over me. One day I'm just gonna blow up on the channel. They're gonna say, "Whoa, I guess you can say it."
More of Brooklyn.
Right. Looking out. Yeah, less dad, more Brooklyn, please, please. This guy.
Right.
But again, it's like you said, you can fake it, and then once you get to that level where a person think you a certain way, but you fake the personality.
Maintain that to
now
actually put in the work of becoming that person. So.
But you already gonna feel that internally, so you know what I'm gonna say. When you have that eternal feeling of being fake and not being true to yourself, that comes to toxicity.
Right, like you start to make them feel bad for them being quote unquote better because you're on that lower level.
Because you know inside,
and you're like, really, why are you trying to do that? That's weird. Or like,
inside you didn't do the work to get here.
You're trying to bring them down to your level because that's all you can do.
Because you got to that space with that person from a personality trait.
Right.
So you may meet somebody. And this is from that book, The 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty?
It's kind of goes
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No offense.
Sorry for the name mess up. Okay.
Right. It goes back to that book, too, where he kind of was talking about I forgot what there was. I hate when I recall something. I can't say it the exact way. But it's like you attract who you are. You attract what you put out there. So, for instance, let's just say, I had $10,000 right now. So on Facebook, I'm flashing my money. Right. I got some designer stuff, some shades, and I'm flashing money. And I'm gonna attract that female. Right. I'm gonna attract that energy that say, "Ooh, look at him. He got money. He got the cash."
Wants to be on. And
now you got a person that's attracted to your money.
Right.
You got what you want, and now you there. Now that $10,000 or so, it dwindles down. And now she's locked in with you. You locked in with her, and she thinks like, I'm not gonna say 10 because that's a small amount of money. I'm gonna say $100,000.
Right.
You have $100,000 cash,
and you're behind a Bugatti.
You're doing all type of stuff. She see you now. That $100,000 can last you, say, 6 months because you guys gonna be spending crazy because you got a girl.
Because she thinks you have
on a high income level thinking girl.
Standards.
Not standards, but a person who wants a lot of materialistic things. So now you in that relationship, you giving her what she wants, which is the money, the gifts, the good time, and she's giving you what you want, which is the validation of having
at that level
a girl of that caliber. Now you got what you want, but when the money's gone, she's gonna still want that money. Right. But now you like, well, I did have the money, but now we're in a relationship, but now we care for each other.
Right.
It shouldn't be about that. No.
It was never about the money.
You attracted her with that money, and that's the only way you can keep her is with that money. And I'm not saying that's negative or positive, but that's just the reality. That goes for stuff that's not so superficial as money. It can be with intelligence. Yeah. You can walk around like, oh, I'm very smart. I'm a high intelligent person.
So once you really attract that
smart person, and then she finds out like this dude really read 2 books.
Yes.
And he just mastered a couple of quotes. He's walking around here not really on that level. Then it's going to be that conflict of interest, and then it won't work out. So the best bet is to work on yourself, be true to yourself, and
accept
yourself, and then you can get that happiness, that happy relationship, because you're going to attract the same type of person that you want to. So again, it's about sacrifice, and it goes back to sacrifice.
Going back to happiness, do you think that people who set standards are happy because they set I'm talking about in a relationship, because some people will be like, I want him to be smart, I want him to have a good job, I want him to blah blah blah, but once they don't find that, then they're like I don't know what to say. So they're trying to like put their self first and be happy. Like, I'm not settling, blah blah blah. But
you talking about a person that says I'm working on myself until the person
like I have those
that
these
that,
high
that can
standards.
check off all those boxes
Right.
come into my life. What do you mean?
And that's so unrealistic, and people at the end of it's not unrealistic, but it's like
it's a lot.
It is a lot, you could say.
It's a lot. You could say
no, because some people will be like, I want him to have a good job. I want him to be kind and all that, which that is definitely you can find someone, but
again, you know what? That's fine if you are all those things, you're gonna attract all those things.
If you're healed,
but if you're not those things, you're gonna attract those things on a superficial level.
Yeah.
So going back to what you were saying, it could be somebody say, I want someone to make this money, to be smart, to be kind, to be this.
Because a lot of
but
people,
you may not be that. But then you attract a person that displays that image. But since you're not that, you're gonna get the fake person to do that.
Right.
So say this. You listening? Good scenario. A person say, I want someone that's just kind and just nice to me and just love me. Mm-hmm. And then someone can say, oh, I can act kind. I can act nice. I can act to love you.
Right.
So you got a person in your life right now that's doing those three things.
All of that.
And they doing it, but eventually what happens? The real them are gonna come out. They're not so kind. They're not so nice.
Right.
Their definition of love when they started is a different definition of love now. They feel like, well, I loved you when I first started. Remember all the stuff we did? That we felt the love. We did this, and did that.
So,
and you expect that to be consistent. So now that it's dropped off, you're not happy. They're not happy, and the happiness has dwindled because you guys started on a false definition of what you both wanted. So it goes back to personal story time now.
No.
It goes back to and this is it. It goes back to whenever you meet somebody, we getting off, I don't know if we're on the same topic or not, but when you meet someone, it really it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's really kind of sometimes the easiest thing is the hardest, if this makes sense. So early,
I think you're trying to say
early in the relationship, early in the meeting stage, you should really lay out definitions.
Really be your authentic self and show your authentic self to them.
That's for one, but you also need to put it out there on the table of what you expect, what your intentions are.
Because what are your intentions?
Please, I hope she's not watching. But you know what?
I have another question. So
that was one of those paradigm shifts for me. That was a paradigm shift.
So, say you're in a relationship and it's good and everything, and
it's good and everything.
Right. So, a lot of people in relationships they tend to look at social media and then they become unhappy in the relationship when it's going fine and everything, and they think to be happy in a relationship they have to get me all these things, they have to always be nice to me, there has to be no problems, no arguments. And
so you talk about those videos that be like, was that a micro expression? No, you talk about the videos that be like, if he ain't coming home with flowers every Friday, he don't love you.
Right. If he
I don't get flowers every Friday.
So yes, going along with happiness, people on social media, back to social media and happiness, do not look at social media and basing your happiness off what those expectations are on social media. But at the same time, like, it's you should always write down what makes you happy, you truly happy, not what makes other people in other relationships happy. Because I see a lot of people, they're always like, oh, that's weird drifting. He did that. That's weird he did that.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That right there, I would never tolerate. He did what? For who? Oh, no.
Really?
That's a deal breaker.
How dare you?
How dare he? So, yeah, you're right. So, that's comparison, though.
Right, that's comparison.
But it goes back to being happy.
Right, comparison is a thief of joy.
But, yeah, right. That's a good one. But at the end of the day, it's all about you being assertive, intentional,
and your true self.
About authentic. What you want in life. So you have to really...
Moving through life authentically.
Again, sometimes the easiest thing is the hardest. And one of the hardest things that we do is what? Let people know how we feel at that moment in time, because we feel like if I tell you how I feel right now, you might run away.
You might not
like me. So I'm scared. So let's just say...
In relationships, telling people how you feel
not
about
only
something.
not only a relationship, even a friend relationship,
right? Even a friendship, being like,
even
oh,
a
I
business,
didn't like that.
Even as father daughter, a lot of
right?
stuff.
Oh, I didn't like that, or oh, I want a promotion. I think I deserve one. Something like
no,
that.
I'm talking in terms of, let's just say you in a friendship relationship, whatever, and it's like the first beginning stages of it, and you like, well, I really don't like a person that vapes.
Yeah.
But then the person vapes, and you like, I don't like it. But if I tell him I don't like it,
then
he's not gonna like me anymore.
Right.
So maybe the longer I stay with him, then more.
Maybe he'll change for me.
Yeah, he'll change if I love him, and now
yes.
he has to change.
One thing is, no one's ever gonna change for you, and that's just it. And a lot of people think they'll change for me.
Yeah, so that goes.
But he loves me.
Yeah, that goes back to being happy with yourself.
Right.
So if you say, I'm happy with a person who doesn't vape, and I'm standing on business with
right.
that. But if I get someone who does vape, I have to still be happy that this person vapes. But if it impedes on my happiness, then you're not gonna be happy. So right now, the conclusion is,
if that's your standard of not wanting someone to vape and you still get in a relationship, that's your fault.
You asking for unhappiness.
You're literally asking.
You asking not to be happy. You like,
I don't want someone that vapes.
But
oh, you vape, but I love him.
But I love you.
But I love you.
So I love you so much that, and once this vaping thing annoys me, I'm going to sacrifice my happiness and make your life unhappy along with mine over something as small as vaping.
Yes.
Now it's not only vaping, because since you overlooked that, what else you overlooked?
Right.
It's one of those things where you have to really let the nail in the hammer right now. Listen, I like you, but if you vape, I can't deal with you. Do you want to stop or no?
And being real with what you say, being straightforward in that.
You gonna stop or no?
Right.
Yeah, I'll stop for this week and hide it. And
I'll stop for you. Ew.
And that means they won't.
That means they won't.
They're just gonna hide it.
I'll stop for you.
So it's still one of those things where, to be happy, you have to stand on business.
Yes.
You have to stand on business.
Basically, at the end of the day.
Hey, we got one with a new term. # stand on happiness. # alert, stand on happiness. Yeah, but that's true. Stand on your happiness. Right? Because
stand on your standards of happiness.
Yeah, because if you stand on your happiness, you can't be happy.
No one can break that.
Yeah, so if it's like, listen, man, I'm happy wearing a white t-shirt and a blue overshirt every day of my life. This makes me happy. This makes me comfortable.
And someone's like, really?
Bro, you've been wearing that shirt white combination for the last week.
Right.
Do you wash it? No, I got like 6 different blue shirts and white shirts combinations.
That's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. You wearing the same thing, but I'm happy with it. Okay, man, you can't hang out with me.
Right.
So
that's
now
weird.
You're thinking in your head like, oh man,
do I want to give up my happiness, or do I want to?
Maybe he's right. Maybe I shouldn't do this. But you know, that makes you happy. That makes you look the best to yourself in the mirror. Stand on your happiness and say, you know what, bruh? If I can't hang out with you looking like this, then maybe we shouldn't hang out together. Because that's the first thing. It's not just one thing a person is going to change for you to make them more comfortable.
And we're not saying cut off everyone who's like,
right.
Oh, I'm cutting them off. You're cut off.
Right, everybody.
Oh, no, we're not saying cut off everyone. No.
Right.
You're cut off. You don't like my white shirt. You're cut off.
Right, just cutting people off all the time. Whoa, you got braids this week?
I told you I didn't like that.
I'm not a fan of braids, and right now you impeding on my happiness.
We're cutting you off.
I gotta cut you off. I'm standing on happiness right now.
Right.
Don't do that. But you get the point. You know what I'm saying? You get the point. And
some people take cutting
get off
off
target to get off subject. I look kind of nice with the blue-white combination. I think I might wear this every day for my own happiness.
Comments, really?
Actually, you don't.
You don't need to do that. It's fine.
Right.
You're good.
He always makes it about him for some reason. More Brooklyn, please. Why is he on here? Can you find like someone like a girl?
Can you?
Right. The balance is off.
Can we do more feminism videos?
Right.
Take the
that masculine energy is just throwing me off right now. The balance. But seriously, that's the new thing right now. Stand on your happiness.
Right.
Man.
That's real, and a lot of
people. I love that. I love that for us to make that up.
I love that for you.
I love that for you. So when someone says da 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 da, standing on happiness, you just type one there. I love this for you. You know what? I hate that comment though. I see that all the time.
I love this for you, but I don't like it. I wouldn't do that.
Right. Every time a girl gets into a new relationship, oh, I love this
right.
for her. I love that for her.
What do you mean? I don't understand what is that phrase?
What do you love for her? Why?
Why is that? That is so.
What is that doing for you? You never gonna meet this person. You don't even know if she's really happy. Oh, right. She's in her soft season. I love that for her.
She's in her soft girl era.
She's in her soft girl era. Oh my God, I love it for her. And then, get off subject. Now I'm gonna ramble because sometimes people, just going back to the internet stuff, people live for that comment though.
What? I love that for you.
Yeah, some people might want to just like superficially do stuff
just to get a new clip.
Hey, just to get that
satisfaction.
Just to get just to get that comment. Like everybody can say that's nice. Oh, they like it.
Oh,
but when somebody
good.
Says I love this for you,
you,
they're like, oh my God, I made it. That's the endorphins.
Right.
I think that they're gonna keep wanting. Like, what else can I do that they love for me? Because you want to be loved. So I think sometimes people take that too, man. They love that comment. They want to see that comment can change a person's life sometimes. So a person can just put something in this, oh man, I love this for you.
Really? I'm going to keep doing it.
Such a validated statement.
You want to do that just because they said that?
Right. And you probably did it by mistake.
Right. You accidentally word that random color with that. Oh, I love that for you.
All right, guys. Well, we see you next time with another video.
Yes.
And just remember, at the end of the day, stand on happiness.
Yes. Bye.
Why do I gotta do it like a face like that? It's crazy.